Hey there, we're back with another round of questions from the community. My name is Scott and I'm with 2K. And every week you guys submit questions to us about Battleborn and we try to answer as many of them as we can. If you'd like to submit questions in the future, make sure you do that on Twitter with the hashtag #BadassQuestions, or you can do it by submitting your question in the comments below this video. All right, first question is from Tim Van Donk on Facebook, and he asks, will there be crazy character customization like the weird heads and skins in Borderlands? Tim, yes, there's absolutely going to be character customization in Battleborn, skins being one of those. There's all kinds of different skins that you can unlock by playing the game. Also, we announced that you get these sweet gold pre-order skins. If you pre-order the game, you get them with a number of different characters, so you can check that out. But not only that, if you 100% a character, if you play a character a ton and get their character rank up to max, we'll recognize how badass you are at playing that specific character and give you a mastery skin to recognize you for that as well. But not only skins, you can get taunts in the game. You've probably seen some of them if you've watched any of the gameplay videos we've put out there. So there's different taunts that you can unlock for each character, and you can assign those to the characters as well to further customize the way you play a certain character. So yes, all kinds of customization options. All right, next question here is from Skank McGee on Twitter. He's at Skank McGee23. We've got a couple questions for him. He says, riddle me this. If we get lore by playing missions, are missions replayable to get more lore for different characters? Good question, McGee. So answer, yes, you can. You can absolutely replay missions in the story mode. The story mode is developed and intended for that. And Gearbox has actually put a lot of different factoids in the game and hidden them as part of challenges. So there's these various lore challenges that you can complete that are specific to characters. And when you do that, Gearbox rewards you with different audio log messages or letters or notes that are going to reveal more about that character. And in fact, if you manage to go through and unlock all of those challenges for a specific character, you might unlock, as a reward, get a legendary piece of gear item. So there's an even further incentive to go get all those audio logs. Okay, one more question here from Skank McGee23 on Twitter. He says, I heard a rumor that leveling up is pointless because it just resets after each match. Is that true? No, Skank, it is not pointless, but yes, it does reset after each match, so you're not wrong in that. That's very much one of those things that's inspired from MOBAs, and Gearbox wanted to make sure that in this game you were able to level up very rapidly in that mission or match, and then your Helix system will reset after that mission or match, allow you to completely change the way you play that character the next time you bring them into battle. So that very much is true, but it's not pointless because you're also earning experience that carries over into what we call the character rank. And so you have 15 different ranking levels outside of a mission or match in your character rank, and as you're gaining experience with a specific character, let's just use Arendi as an example, Arendi will grow more powerful and you'll unlock all sorts of cool stuff, including additional augmentations for your skill tree. So you may have seen in a couple videos that are out on the internet, there's actually a third option in the middle of your Helix system. So you unlock that by ranking up, and there's 5 per character as you kind of work your way up the Helix system. So no, not pointless. Okay, next question comes from John C. on YouTube. He asks, what transfers between each campaign level? For example, do skills or equips or weapons carry over? So some stuff does carry over, John, and some stuff does not carry over. So for example, your Helix system, the skills that you're leveling up in mission or match, those do not carry over. Those reset. However, your gear loadout does carry over. So you're able to carry that over. And then also your character rank, where you're leveling up outside of the mission or match and growing your character stronger from 1 to 15. All of that experience that you've earned as a specific character, that will carry over in every mission or match that you play. So some stuff does, some stuff doesn't. Shadow the Image, J1R on Twitter asks, is the multiplayer PvP going to be more strategy-based, or is it just a shoot-'em-up? So J1, yeah, there's a lot of strategy in Battleborn. There's 3 different competitive multiplayer modes that Gearbox has created. There's Devastation, which is a team deathmatch where you capture and hold certain points. There's Meltdown, where you're escorting your minions from your base into the center of the map, where they're jumping into an incinerator, and you get more points for every minion that jumps into the incinerator, jumps to their death. So you're trying to protect them. And then there's Incursion, which is very much like a first-person version of a MOBA, where you're leaving your base, the enemy's leaving their base, and your minions are trying to get through the other team's defenses to ultimately get to their base and destroy their base. So a lot of strategy in the ways that you can tackle the different maps for those modes, but also in Battleborn with 25 different playable characters, you have teams of 5-on-5. Your team composition is a big part of your strategy too. You want to make sure that you're picking characters that counter other player characters. Sometimes you want to make sure you have a healer on your team, for example. So that whole thought process behind how do I compose my team, and how are my characters on my team working as a team together, but also working against the opposing team, that's a big part of the strategy in Battleborn too. At Mental Mars on Twitter asks, will gear packs always be random, or are there fixed drops or challenges from some gear like Legendary? So Mental Mars, good question. Loot packs will always be random. So when you open a loot pack, what you get in it is always going to be randomized. There's no set specific loot that is going to drop, but the more rare and legendary loot packs are going to give you better chance of getting rare and legendary gear items. So there's definitely that that you want to have. And then, for example, like in the story missions, when you're playing a boss, bosses are more likely to drop rare or legendary loot packs that way. So there's a reason to go in and beat the boss for a better chance of getting better gear. All right, thanks so much for submitting your questions. If you had your questions answered in today's video, you just won yourself a sweet pair of badass sunglasses. We're going to mail that out to you. Remember, guys, you can always submit your questions each week, and we'll try to answer as many as we can. Do that on Twitter by using the hashtag #BadassQuestions, or send your questions to us in the comments of the video below. We'll see you next week.